The Panhandle Spirit starts now.
Thanks for being here this morning. I'm Anthony Pittman, and this is Midday here on ABC 7 News. If Lee Baker is staying off the golf course for at least one day to go head-to-head against the other celebs in a fitness competition, you know we've got to be there. And speaking of being there, that's where ABC 7's Tatiana Toomer is right now at Bivens Point for a special day. Tatiana, I hope I didn't give away the entire story right there. How are you?
The 2018 Center City Electric Light Parade alongside ABC 7's Leisha Schmidt. I'm Anthony Pittman. Thank you so much for being here tonight on what I guarantee you will be a great night for the Panhandle. The movie Field of Dreams had that classic line in it, and everyone knows it. Build it, and they will come. Well, the voters of Amarillo approved the building of this downtown baseball park known as Hodgetown. It's this location, along with what many consider to be a thirsty base for baseball, that encouraged the San Diego Padres to bring minor league baseball back to the Panhandle.
Penny was thinking
No, she jumped. No, I have to go back here and get her. Look at this. Oh, did you really jump, sweetie? No.
Oh, now you
I'm
saved
so
her.
sorry. Was it the whistling? I feel horrible.
You saved her now, so now she...
Oh my goodness. Did that just happen? Now, would your wife say if you got on her last nerve, can't you be more like Chris Gaines?
Well, I've got to tell you, if you ask her what her favorite Garth Brooks album is, you'll be surprised what the answer is.
Do you think some folks are kind of surprised that you know as much about art as you do and that you're the collector that you are?
I think people are surprised that I know anything.
Okay.
You're the guy with a joint and knows something? Yeah.
You want to do the other one while you're...
Oh, there it snap! Goes. Look at that!
No, I'm nervous because this is not going to go off until we leave.
Oh, there it goes. 2, 1. I got double crossed.
And finally this morning, it's a job where so many of the employees don't ask for the fanfare. They do the work without a fuss. I respect everything about the public library system. I even have a library card right here, and I use it. So when I had the chance to be on the staff for a day at the downtown location here in Amarillo, I did not hesitate. Here's this week's Be Me, Anthony. You might expect this job to be slow-moving, quiet. You know, the library stereotype.
It's usually pretty loud. If you go upstairs, it's quiet because that's the reference area. But I don't think the whole stigma of librarians be like, shh, no. That's not our library.
So the Forneys invited me to join them on a morning run with this advice.
For starters, don't fall in. Second, don't get any on you. And third, go back to rule 1, don't fall in.
You don't have to tell me twice. The work can be from stop to stop quick, but the look and smell, well, that's a different story. I just tried not to get in the way and slow down this pair as they pump on the average 1,000 gallons per trap in about 20 minutes.
And take a look at this, one of the many reasons Marines are oh so tough. This happening yesterday at the Boston Marathon. A U.S. Marine with mind over matter to finish that marathon on his hands and knees crawling across the finish line. Now here's the deal. Micah Herndon started to cramp up badly when he was getting near the finish line. He said he was running a marathon for the first time to honor the Marines who have lost their lives in service to this country. So he had to finish, and he did, at 3 hours, 38 minutes. But of course now, the time, in this case, means nothing. And that's Dee Gordon of the Miami Marlins in Cincinnati against the Reds, trying to be nice to a kid and getting kicked in the shin. What? The kid was actually bringing out an extra ball for the umpire, who may have been the real bad guy here. Watch it closely. I think the umpire encouraged that kid to kick Dee Gordon. One more time. Now that's just wrong. Next on Daybreak, he's the Kanye of the kitchen, the Wayne Newton of the Nook, the Jay-Z of the juicer. If Bud actually uses the juicer. Good life, good food with Chef Bud. Oh, Bud, hey, do you use the juicer?
Yes. Hey, listen, good morning. There's so many things that I've got to get to quick. I cannot believe that you had Dee Gordon and you on the same. Dude, you look like Dee Gordon.
Mick says, trust me, I'm going to work hard and get back on stage as soon as I can. And when Mick says something, he's going to do something. Mick's going to do something.
That's right. He'll be doing that just right after surgery, too.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
It's been going on all morning behind the
Can't
scenes,
stop,
folks. I know, you can't stop.
Make a grown man cry.
I love with the point, too. That's very nice.
Much happening right now on Daybreak. In the so-called heyday of movie watching here in the Panhandle, There were, at times, at least 6 movie theaters showing the latest films out of Hollywood. And it was common for residents to spend their entertainment dollars even during the Depression at the movies.
But Amarillo's rich history at the theater also included moments some would rather forget. But it's those moments that help to shape history right here in the Panhandle.
They are 2 of Amarillo's icons. One technically not there, but still exists. The other there, but time has changed its face.
Going to the show was an opportunity to dress up. Men wore coat and tie. Ladies would wear a dress, usually with gloves. Cross-culturally, that was the way. You just did it. It was a big time.
And that time was the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. That's when Amarillo movie theaters like the Paramount and the Liberty were weekly destinations for residents. It has been more than 40 years since moviegoers flocked here on Polk Street to catch the latest Hollywood flick. The location is now home to businesses like the restaurant Rain and Palace Coffee. You'd have to use your imagination to see a movie now. What was once a theater is a parking garage.
It was a place not only to see a show, but also to be seen going to the show.
But a story like this could not be told now without a reminder of what once was then. The thought of me sitting and watching a movie at the Paramount would not have gone over well 50+ years ago. In fact, it wouldn't have happened. People of color had their own theaters, like the Liberty. It was like that until the 1960s.
Those of us who were in line were determined that we were going to go through with what we had said we were going to do, and that was go to the theater.
Iris Lawrence tried to watch a movie at the Paramount in 1960 and was jailed for the effort. She never thought her actions on that day would be a part of the movement to change certain unwritten rules.
But I'm just so glad that I was able to do what I could do at the time that I did.
Julian Reese, who's now the football coach of the Amarillo Venom, is also a student of history and the American experience. He never considered until now changes in civil rights came about in part because of movie theaters.
Thank you, and wow. I mean, those are true heroes, and you gotta honor them.
Today, with all of its history, you still see signs of what once was at the Paramount. The Liberty stands, tattered, with only memories. Some would like to see it torn down, others want it to be honored in some way.
I hope it's not a sore spot. I hope it's not a wound. I do hope that it is preserved in some way in a tasteful fashion.
I'm hoping that they will put something in that area, on that lot, that will show that it is a part of Amarillo history.
So the Paramount Theater showed its final movie in March of 1975. The Liberty, that still stands on Southeast 4th Street, stopped showing movies sometime in the late 1950s.
And Iris Lawrence made Potter County history in 1998 when she became the county's first African-American female county commissioner, serving in that position for 8 years.
And a reminder, she wanted us to know that on that night that she was jailed, she was never charged with a crime. And she's not bitter today. She just knew then that it was necessary for change.
She had to take a stand, and she did take a stand, which is why she was a commissioner. She was a leader.
And she actually says hats off to the Panhandle because she loves Amarillo and she loves the Panhandle.
I just love that story. Thank you, Iris.
We can learn from folks like her.